Pretty good feeling. So we do have the guideline in front of you. We just kind of want you to go through it on your own. First thing is share a little bit about yourself, Riley. So tell us something about you. And you can incorporate a story into it or use your personal page and whatever you want to ad lib to it to kind of share with us about Riley Meyer.
Well, my name's Riley. I'm 18 years old. I'm about done with school. I work full time. I plan on being a diesel mechanic when I grow up, get older, and eventually have my own shop.
Perfect, good enough. So Riley, the big question, here's the one that you can expound on a little bit or tell us some more details, is how in the world did you end up at MSA? So how did you get here? Why didn't the traditional high school setting of Toma High School work? When did that start to go by the wayside? How did it all happen? So give us your history or synopsis of how that went.
Well, about sophomore year, I took a geometry class, and that kicked me in the butt. After, I just kind of gave up during that, and then I just kind of continued through the rest of my junior year, I guess. I just kind of gave up on school, and then I was credit deficient. So then I had two options. I could take night classes and maybe pass, or come here and graduate. So I took this option, and I enjoyed it very much.
Good. How did you find out about MSA? Did the guidance counselors do that, or had you heard from other students, or how did you hear about it?
Kind of both. I mean, I've heard about it from other students, but there were students that had never been here, so I didn't hear very much constructive stuff. But then the guidance counselors, they talked about it, so.
Yes, they did.
All right, so Riley, we're going to go through a couple different documents that you went over, you created when you were here. The first one is why kids fail. And the reason we always like to talk about this one is we all fail at certain aspects of life, and it's not the failing part that eventually gets us, it's the not getting back up. And obviously you got back up. And Toma High School didn't actually work for you, but got back up, picked yourself up by the bootstraps, and you're here at MSA, and we're happy to say you've graduated. So we kind of want to hear your reason of why you think kids fail. How did you get yourself into that predicament, or into predicaments like that in general?
I can find it.
It's probably under your writing tab, or
Is it?
Yep, you want to go to the writing laboratory, and it's the very first one.
Why kids fail? I guess kids fail for numerous reasons. I guess, they could have some bad home lives, something's going on there, or they get pressure at school, pressure from peers. Sometimes they have jobs that they, can't always cooperate with school or whatever. There's numerous reasons why kids fail. Sometimes it's just lack of effort, I guess. I guess that was more my case.
That was going to be my question. What was yours? You said you kind of gave up, and I was going to say why. Why did that happen?
It was just lack of effort. I was like, well, I'm already so many credits behind. I guess I don't really see a good outcome here.
So it was a very slow transition for you.
Yeah.
You're a credit or two behind, then it spiraled.
Pretty much. I mean, there were some classes I tried more than others in, but overall, I was just kind of like,
Yep. All right, so how has MSA worked for you? How has this program worked? If the Toma High School didn't, and you kind of fell in that spiraling pattern, how did MSA work? Was it the format? Was it the lesson plan? Was it your amazing teacher? Explain to us how that all happened.
Well, as much as you'll love it, it was the teachers. I mean, they've worked with me.
You're recording that, right?
yeah, you got that down.
They've worked with me like none other, and they helped me out so much, and I guess it's laid back, here, so I mean that kind of helped too. I mean, it's not super laid back, it's still kind of strict, but I don't know how to explain it, but it was nice. I could work at my own pace as long as I got my stuff done. I mean, there was a time at the end there I was behind, so I needed to get my butt moving, but I got it done, so that was nice.
Good. Well, we're going to ask you to read one of them, Riley. We're going to ask you to read How MSA has helped me reach my goals, and that's in the Goals tab. So you can actually do is flip to that Goals tab and flip that whole stand around so you can read it and stare out here at us. And we're going to ask you to read through that. And that should echo kind of what you said, or how that whole process works. So there you go. Flip it all the way around, get on the other side of it so we can look at your beautiful face and you go after it.
Right,
how MSA helped you reach your goals.
So I would not have graduated if it wasn't for MSA. Around my sophomore year, I realized I was already credit deficient. Graduating on time was going to be difficult. After my junior year, I knew graduating was only an option at RKLC. Thankfully, I was accepted a month before school. The 3 reasons MSA helped me are because I was credit efficient, I could work and go to school at the same time, and it gave me job preparation skills. The first reason MSA helped me reach my goals was because I was credit efficient. After junior year, I had 16 and a half credits, and I needed 26 and a half to graduate. I knew that there was no chance I was going to make it, so I applied to RKLC. I had to take a tape test to get in. I was accepted into the MSA program at the beginning of the year. In order to finish, I had to complete a portfolio, get 380 work hours, and volunteer 30 hours of community service. The second reason MSA helped me reach my goals was because I could go to school and work at the same time. At this stage of my life, I need to earn money so I can go to college. MSA was flexible, so I could work full time. I got a job at RPL and I work 40 hours a week. I make about $12 an hour. The third reason MSA helped me reach my goals was because it gave me job preparation skills I will need in life. MSA helped me complete assignments such as resume, reference page, cover letter, and I completed a sample application. Those skills will help me get and keep a job. MSA prepared me for life more than regular high school would. They helped me graduate on time, gave me time to work, and helped me get and keep a job. If it wasn't for MSA, graduation would not have happened this year.
Nice. So, Riley, what part of the portfolio, or MSA in general, the whole thing, what part of it didn't you like? Or not that you didn't like, or was the most difficult, or what part would you change? And the reason we ask that isn't so you can shine something negative on the program. It's something we can improve. Just like anybody else, there's always areas we can improve. So we always want a little feedback. Which section did you find the most difficult? What area did you find the most difficult? What about MSA would you change if you were the teacher? So kind of want you to give us some of that feedback.
I guess the section that was most difficult in the portfolio was the government. But I mean, that is, I think, for everyone.
Yeah, it's a long,
time consuming.
Yep,
And to
definitely.
dig, but I'm not sure what I'd really change. I mean, it's pretty cut and dry. I don't know what else I could change, I guess.
Yep, no, that's perfectly fine. Yep. So what do you? That's what you like the least, the government section. That's very common, like you said. It's long. It definitely is. What did you like best about the portfolio, or about MSA in general, or even better yet, a little of both, portfolio and MSA?
You could make the portfolio your own. I mean, you didn't have to. I mean, you had to get the work done, but you could, do it as you wanted, I guess. Make it your own kind of thing. MSA was the same way. You could do your own thing while you're getting your stuff done, and it was nice.
Kind of fit it to meet
Right.
Riley Meyer's
Right.
needs, right? Versus Tacoma School District's
Right.
needs. Yeah, I think that's pretty neat. All right, we want you to share 2 other pieces of work. You get to pick whatever ones you want, any other pieces of work, and you got to pick 2 of them. And I'm going to hand you this, Riley. I'll give you a second. Kind of peek through there. Those are all the things you completed this year, and we want you to share 2 of them.
I was reading through my personal page, I guess. It's changed a lot since the beginning of the year, so I'll read through that. Alright, so it just asked me questions about myself, and the first one is what my favorite food was, and I said pizza, which is still true. My favorite TV show at the beginning of the year was Breaking Bad. I actually stopped watching that and watch a different show now. My favorite book is Summer of the Monkeys. That's still my favorite book. That was a pretty good book. I don't have my truck anymore. I have mixed feelings about that. But so I love to hunt. I like to spend my time trying to work on my truck as much as I can because I need a lot of it. I have one dog. His name's Tyke. He's a Shih Tzu. That's still the same. My favorite movie is Rise of the Planet of the Apes, I think. I don't know, there's a lot of them that are pretty good. My favorite singer is Johnny Cash. My favorite song is Jayden and Jill. That's changed. I haven't listened to that song in forever. My favorite singer is probably Merle Haggard. There's a couple songs I like by Andy Hauser. Very good. I said almost everything makes me mad, which is true. I get mad way too easy. I said if I had my way, I wouldn't have to go to school. That'd be true too.
It's true now.
Yeah. When I graduate from school, I will be a diesel mechanic. I still want to do that. So I love my family, always will. If I could visit any place in the world, it'd be Ireland. At the beginning of the year, I had plans to maybe even move out there with a friend. But I mean, as things happened, it's kind of went away.
Yep.
If I could trade places with someone, it'd be Warren Buffett, just because he's super rich. Yeah, that's what I said.
Thanks. So one other thing you completed at some point in time through your MSA journey. Maybe you want to do your choice skill because I took such a lovely picture.
Oh, no, we're not doing that one. I'll just read this one, I guess, the I Am poem.
Gotcha.
I am independent and strong. I wonder about life and after high school. Hear Eric Church. I see Mallory Styles. I want unlimited money. I am independent and strong. I pretend I have a lot of money. That's true. I feel like floating. Touch the sky. Worry about my truck breaking down. I'm independent and strong. I understand you don't always get what you want. I say everything happens for a reason. I dream of being rich. I try to prove myself. I hope I will make a lot of money. I am independent and strong.
Good deal.
Apparently I like a lot of money at the beginning of the year.
So what we want to do next for number 10 is we want to go through some of those test scores. And you had to take basically 4 big tests in this class. You had to go through the compass test, you had to go through the TABE test, an ASVAB test, and a GED. Now those aren't necessarily the order we're going to go, but flip to your testing section. Right there is a good spot for it. And those are the GED tests. So for you to graduate, you had to take 4 GED tests to graduate. You had to take math, reading, science, and social studies. And the reading was really a language arts. However, because of your credits that you earned at the high school, you didn't have to take all 4. What 2 did you get out of, Riley?
Science and social studies.
Science and social studies. You got the credit out of those 2. So you had to take math and reading language arts. And what was your math score?
156.
156. And in order to graduate, he had to have a 145 in order to pass that GED test. And math is by far the hardest one. And I remember when we sent Riley, we didn't think Riley was going to make it. And Riley didn't think he was going to make it. And he came back, and you remember the first thing I did?
You hugged me.
I gave you a hug. I was so excited and happy for you. And you did awesome on it. You got one of our best scores that year, this year, so that was awesome. In your reading language arts, you got a
149.
149, beautiful. So passed them both, which is very, very good. Flip to another one, Riley. There we go. That is your TABE test. Now there should be a pre and a post TABE. So tell us what you got for your pre and post. In fact, go to your post TABE, that second one. There you go. And you can see the first score there and the second score there. And I'll kind of explain how the TABE test works. When Riley got into the program, he had to take a test to see which program he fell into, whether it was MSA or Excel. And then what the state of Wisconsin needs to see is improvement on that TABE score. In other words, he had to improve going through the year. And those tests were on, he had 2 tests in math, 1 in reading, and the other one was language, right, Riley?
Mm-hmm.
So give us your befores and your afters.
My similar befores are here.
Yep.
Alright, so for reading, the first I got 23 out of 25. That's what, a 12.9.
And the 12.9 means that's about equivalent grade level. So about a senior or over a senior, which is 12th grade level.
Yeah, and then it said 13 over here.
13. When you get 12.9 plus, you're on the road to a 13. Yep.
And then mathematics.
You can just do the comp one. That's the combined one.
This one.
So your combined one with your first pre-TABE was a 10.5. So you're about a sophomore and a half.
Yeah.
And you graduated at about 11.2, which is a junior-ish. And then your language was 5.6. And that's a deceiving number because that language one is more like written language, not necessarily writing all the time, but grammar type stuff, which a lot of kids absolutely love. And I know Riley loves writing and loves grammar.
Yeah.
You can see the smirk. And you left with?
7.4.
Perfect. So it was on the rise, which is always a good thing. All right, flip us to another one. We got the compass test and the ASVAB next. Which one is that?
It's compass.
All right, so what the compass test is every technical college you have to take a compass test in order to get it. So we know Riley wants to be a diesel mechanic. Well, the diesel mechanic or diesel technician, as they call it at WTC, they have certain requirements for this test score. So all kids take this in order to be able to go to tech school. So I think there's 3 categories or 3 tests in there, Riley.
Yeah.
Kind of give us yours.
For the writing skills, I got a 22. For the reading, I got a 90. And there's 2 for the math. Pre-algebra is 23 and algebra is 16.
Nice. Do you know what the diesel mechanic requires?
Nope.
No, that would definitely be something to look up.
Yep.
Something to check out. Because if you didn't make those, you'd have to retake the compass test. But it gives you an idea. At least you've been through the test once. And the last one is the ASVAB. And the ASVAB is a military test. And I know right away Riley was kind of thinking about going into the Army. I think he said plans have changed a little bit. I was looking at the diesel mechanic, but the ASVAB test is right there. And what was your score on that, Riley?
35.
35. That's in a goofy spot down there, isn't it? In order to get into the Army, you have to actually have a 31. So Riley does qualify for the military. Again, he decided that's not what he wants to do at this stage of the game, but that doesn't mean he may not later revisit that, or who knows. Anytime we say I'm not going to do that, that always seems to bite us in the butt, and we come back later in life, and that's what we end up doing. So who knows? So those are your test scores. Anything else you want to share with us, Riley, or talk about?
I don't think so.
No, you're good to go. Then I'm going to ask you the ending question. And the ending question is, you are walking across stage, correct? You'll be back from vacation by then. And graduation is May 28th, which is a Saturday. What happens to Riley Meyer after May 28th? So you wake up on May 29th. What does life look like? Are we applying to tech school? Are you going to take a year and work? What are you going to do, Riley?
And fill out some job applications.
Want to get away from RPL?
Yeah.
Okay, for the summer, for a couple years, earn some money. What's the game plan?
I guess.
And again, nothing's stuck in stone. We just want to know what Riley Meyer's up to.
Yeah, I want to work through the next year and then go to school the following year, hopefully.
Gotcha. So get a year's worth of income and work under your belt. Yep, sounds good. And you're just going to apply to some jobs around Toma? You're going to stay in the Toma area, you think?
I want to, yeah.
You think you are? All right. Well, that's all we got for you, Riley. Real short and sweet and to the point, but we appreciate you being here. We liked having you as a student, and it's always good to be done. So congratulations. I'll shake your hand. Miss Hubert's a hugger. She'll give you a hug.
I get to give the hug.
I'll give you a hug too, just because I helped you with your math. And I remember being so excited too when we found out that you passed.
I'm just going to wait. Good deal, Riley. So, Riley, this is yours. And we encourage you to take this. And what you're going to say is, well, what in the world am I going to do with this stupid thing? And what I'll tell you is, stick it under your bed. And who knows, this summer all of a sudden you go to apply and you're thinking, what? I need to submit a resume. And you flip to your job prep section. You got a cover letter, you got a resume, you got a reference letter, you have all that. Or you need a couple letters of recommendation in order to get the job. And you flip to your letters of recommendation section. You never know when this thing can come in handy. Or you got to take your compass test, which is good for 4 years, I believe. And you already have it, and your scores are good enough where you don't have to retake it. And they don't have it on record, you pull it out of here. Because they don't have it because you were under 18, I think, when you took it. Maybe you were 18 when you took it. I don't know either. But I would just throw it under your bed. You have no idea when that stuff is going to come into play. So hold on to it. I'll take that from you right there. When you're done, big guy, that's it. What's done is done. You're out of here. So we will see you next, according to our what's left plan. You have to be here for graduation rehearsal on the 27th, or they won't let you walk across stage. That graduation rehearsal is at 9 o'clock, but you have to be at RKLC at 8, or 8:30, sorry. So at 8:30, you have to be here. We'll actually go over there together as a crew, and once we go over there as a crew, you're on your own.
Okay.
So if you get thrown out or kicked out or whatever, you're on your own. Miss Hubert and I will be there, but that's about it. Then on May 28th is the graduation day. On that day, we meet in the small gym at 9 a.m. Sharp, right by the weight room doors. We kind of take attendance. Now, when you get there that day, they're going to stick you in that room forever. You're in the small gym for like an hour. It's the most obnoxious thing in the world, but you just stand in there kind of talking with all your classmates. But be prepared because they're really long wait. Then, you will get your diploma that day, but you don't get it when you walk across stage. So when you walk across stage, make sure you just don't peel out of there. They'll bring it back once the graduation ceremony is all done. They're going to put you in the small gym. Then they're going to filter you into the cafeteria, and once you're in there, you can go get it.
Okay.
If for some reason you would miss graduation, you're sick, something happens, you miss it, May 31st, you have to go to Toma High School to pick it up, if that would happen. Now, the only other odd thing is transcripts. You know what transcripts are?
Mm-hmm.
So you apply to WTC, and they're going to want to see your high school transcripts to prove you graduated from high school. The high school will not give you a copy of that, and they will not send it to TC for you anymore. They won't send it for anybody. You have to go to this website, parchment.com, and it's all free. You just have to create an account right there and send from Toma High School to whatever school you want. So I'm going to give you that to hold on to. This thing right here tells you a little more about your transcripts.
Okay.
And this is the last thing. Oops, that one doesn't have it as a blank one on it. And this is the last thing you got to fill. I'll give you that too. The last thing you got to fill out for us. Every kid who graduates in the state of Wisconsin has to fill that out. And basically, what it says, Riley, I'll kind of condense it for you, is what are you going to do after
I got one.
graduate? Give him one. What are you going to